This is Kim Hartz, and today I wanted to show you something very important that all pet photographers need to know, and that is how to add in a catch light. Catch lights are super important when you're photographing anybody, really, because it gives life to the eyes, and it's something you need. And a lot of times you might end up with an image like this. This is out of camera. The only thing I've done to it so far is I've cropped it. And you can see right here, we've got a great catch light here, but here we've got a hint of the reflector that I was using and kind of a dark space there. So I want to show you how to add a catch light. So first I'm going to make a new layer. And there's a lot of different ways that you can add catch lights, just like there's a lot of different ways you can remove leashes, clean up doggy beards, tear stains. I'm just going to show you one of my favorites because it's very quick and easy. So I'm going to zoom in on Miss Chloe and get her right. Okay, perfect. So first thing I like to do here is I'm going to remove this current reflector catch light that we see, because even though dogs' eyes are not symmetrical, meaning the catch lights don't fall the way they do on a human's eye, whereas like if you see in a human's eye, the catch light is at 10 o'clock in one, it's at 10 o'clock in the other. So even though that doesn't happen with pets, and you'll notice that you'll see catch lights maybe at like 2 o'clock and 10 o'clock, what we want to do is we want to make them look the same as a human's eye would, because humans are viewing this and it doesn't look right otherwise. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the clone tool, and I'm going to even get a little closer in there and see I'm pretty close. And so I'm going to make this a little bit of a smaller brush. And first what I want to do is I want to actually remove this. So I'm gonna need to make sure that I'm sampling all layers since I created a new layer. And the reason I created a new layer is because if I mess it up, I wanna just be able to remove it versus going on the background layer. So I'm gonna click Option, and I'm gonna go right in the middle of the eye where it's dark, because what I wanna do is get rid of that catch light. So we still see a hint on that side, so I'm gonna do it again and just kinda, yeah, all right. Okay. So now that we have gotten rid of the reflector catch light, I'm going to now add back in a catch light. So I'm still going to use the clone tool. And what I'm going to do is I want to make sure I'm going to make my brush a little bit bigger. And let me see. Yeah. So I want to make sure that my brush covers the whole catch light. So I'm going to hit Option because I want to clone this piece right here. So I noticed too my opacity is at 80%, which is pretty good because when you're cloning a catch light, especially the one that is further away from your main light, you don't want it to be the exact same strength as the catch light closest to the main light, because obviously there's going to be a little fall off as the light moves across their face. So I have it at 80%, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the eye and see, where that first catch light is and where the second should go. And that looks good right there. So I'm gonna click it. And then, okay, let's look back and look at that. 2 catch lights. Pretty simple. And then you can go in, you could reduce the opacity more, but just to show you the difference, how simple and easy it was, none. Doesn't that look so much better? So just to recap what I did, very, very simple. First, I started by creating a new layer. And then I personally use the clone tool. You can use other tools like the patch tool. But the clone tool I find is just super easy. And so first I removed the little bit of the reflector catch light from her eye. And then I made my brush a little bit bigger, had the opacity not at a full 100% because I didn't want it to be exactly the same. And I cloned the current catch light that's closest to the main light and just added it in the other side. And you notice too, I added them at the same angle. So very important, like I said, with a human's eyes, if the catch light's at 10 and 10, they need to be the same on both sides. So here you've got like 11 and 11. But it makes a big difference. I mean, look, you've got no life in that eye to boop, Super easy. And now there's a lot of other things you could do. So I'll take you really quickly through a couple other things I might do to this image. So I might, where is my little action I love? Here it is, paint with light. So I might, that eye just seems a little dark, maybe right in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm using this action called painting with light. I'm going to reduce the size of my brush, not that much. That's probably good. And I keep the opacity pretty low. And so I make sure my brush is white. Okay, and I'm just going to kind of just add in just a little, maybe a little on the nose. Let's see what that did. See, just a little bit, brings out that eye just a little bit, because you can see it was a little dark in the tip of the nose, just a hair. And then another thing that I love to do is a little high pass contrast. Oh, but I have to first do Command Shift Option E to create this other layer so that I can do high pass contrast on it. And I love high pass contrast because look what it does, the texture in the fur, but that is way too bold. So I'm going to take it down just a little bit. Take it down, see, just adds a little bit of pop in there. And you can already see, I mean, where we started, let's take all this off, you know, to there. We added in our catch light, did a little painting with light, a little high pass contrast. And it's already taken our image a whole step further. So there's still a few more things that I would probably do to this to get it finished, which I would probably add more of a vignette, maybe paint back here, darken it out to bring her out a little bit more as well. And but mainly I wanted to show you how to add in that catch light, which as you can see is super easy. It makes a big difference in your images. So the way I did it was with the clone tool, but like I said, you can use the patch tool, and I'm sure there are a million other ways you can do it. But keep in mind when you add in that catch light to make sure that it is at the same place in both eyes, the same position. Very important. So I hope this helps. If you have any ways that you like to add in catch lights, please share them with us. I would love to hear it. Thanks for watching.